Hey there, Heather, hello there. Jeff Cutter Diamond welcome you to, well, we are what I promised the one fan who talked about my PC replay thing and said that you need to slow play it. So, this is the first of my series about slow playing. Slow play! Take it easy! Slow play! And ironically enough, I wasn't sure what exhibition game to do, but I'll do it because of this thing. Tim Harkness. Yeah. He's not a real good first baseman and all that, but dude, he's from Canada, and I'm a Canadian YouTuber, so fuck that. From the Shane Quebec 62182. Signed by the Phillies, before the draft was a thing in baseball. Traded to the Brooklyn Dodgers in exchange for Chico Fernandez. He played for the LA Dodgers. He made his debut September 12, 1961 against Chris Short at LA Memorial Coliseum and was 4 for 8. And in 1962, he appeared in 92 games with 7 at bats, even hitting a home run against Mike McCormick of the Giants. Harkness would be traded from the Dodgers to the Mets, not the expansion Mets, but the second year Mets, for Bob Miller. In the 1963 season, he played 123 games, 3 triples, 10 home runs, and 375 at bats. A 211 batting average, 41 RBIs. And he led off the Mets in the bottom of the first inning on April 17, 1964. That was famous because that game was actually the first ever game the Mets played at Shea Stadium. And people forget that the Mets, the first 2 years, their home games weren't at Shea Stadium. They were at the famous Polo Grounds. And at Shea Stadium, the stadium in which the Brooklyn Dodgers and the site where the Brooklyn Dodgers wanted to play. No, sorry. I think that was the stadium. I think that was the area which Controller Moses wanted them to play. But anyway, the 64 Mets, he played 39 games and then was traded to the Reds. So you got that Mets. But here's the thing. Now, I don't, the seasons I have of this thing 61, 62, 63, 64. I only have the 61 team. The 63 and 64 Mets were not part of the all 60s team, and I don't have that 62 season. So, of course, these are the sets I have and the tournaments and all that bull crap. So, yeah. So, I randomly selected the 1961 Phillies to play. So, okay, so since slow play, I'm going to basically point that. Okay, so when you do an exhibition, well, on the right side, you'll see the tabs, but on the left side, you have best of 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. You could do like a 9 game series, a 1 game series, 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, and a schedule pattern and all that. But I do exhibitions 1 game winner take all. The series name, that's the exhibition, and then the start date is what date it will be happening. And then you have the drop down of the seasons you have. This is the seasons I have. Well, actually, yeah, 2023 and all that. Yeah, those seasons I have. Okay. And then from there, you pick your team. And because Harkness played for the 61 Dodgers, that's who I get. And I put a DH just in case. All right, so we have the save rules. I don't know what they were like in the old days, but 75 to date is basically if you come into a game with your team up by 1, 2, or 3 runs, and your team wins the game, and you don't give up the tying run, that's a save. Sacrifice fly rules. There's a lot of things. There's a no sack fly rule, sacrifice fly on runner advancing, and included sacrifice hit stats. But the normal one I do is sacrifice fly on runner scoring, which means that, just like normal. Other rules, game ending home run, change to base hit. Fuck that. Use 2020 doubleheader / extra inning rules. Nope, I'm not doing that. And the doubleheader games are 9+ innings. I don't know what that rule is. Anyway, season options, usage, use a missed games rule, force top player usage, strict rotation, 25-man rosters. But I don't go by that. I want everyone to play. Player cards, team specific. You could say team specific. And multi-team players. If you play for multiple teams, then you must bring them all in. Now I know Harkness finished with the team. I hope so. Harkness will play. I think Harkness is on the 61 Dodgers. I hope so, because if not, then that screws everything up. But yeah, you do that. Of course, you got main screen options, new season, new postseason draft pool, and help. So we're gonna save Harkness, the tick to Harkness expansion game, and then you'll see that we're gonna go to the main screen. Yeah, it's the whole thing with Tim Harkness. So what you get with PC Replay Baseball is you get what they call a replay encyclopedia. I think you have to pay for it. You get this replay home plate thing. That's just the splash screen. And then on the right hand side is the thing that you are currently playing. Like, say, you play the 1930 season. So along the bottom, you'll see what I have. I have the 1908 season. I have the 20s, 30s, decades teams. That's the best teams from the 20s and 30s. The 1930 season, the 1940s and 50s, 41, 47, 55, the best of the 60s, 61, 69, best of the 70s, 77, the best of the 80s, 1981. I actually have to play a season thing for 1981. 1985, 85, the best of the 90s, 93, 94, top nine, the top teams around, 98, 2001 playoff teams, 2004 playoff teams, 2005, 2016, 2020, and 2023, and some other shit. You go to options, and this is what you get. You can get a lot of things going on there. I think the options list is actually different. If you're playing within a season. So we're just playing that. So you see the ballpark display settings, a white chart book, a transparent field. You can have a background, custom backdrop, as in like what you get. Display fielder photos, display ballpark card, which I'm not going to do. It'll be for the two teams. Display dice instead of numbers, like the actual dice that you roll. I do numbers because it just makes a little more sense. Highlight card results in yellow. I kind of should do that in a sense. Display alternative chart for sorts. That's if it's like a rare play and all that. Show batter pitcher matchup, of course. Auto hide and hide batter pitcher cards, no way. Chart book opacity, transparent cards, transparent lineups, no way. Animation, animate the dice rolls, and animate the base runners. Game flow, you can do checkers, click to air and play and all that. Font size, drop down season selection, show default player, photo display, landscape, ballpark. I don't know what that means. Actual replay card fonts. Play results using the fielding position numbers 463. I just like to use the first baseman. Display replay win loss records. Display current pitching stats on the pitcher batter card. Display replay stats on cards. So the current stats. Well, yeah, I guess you could say that. Graphical schedule screen. White background tooltips. Edit park graphics. Park picture delay. Okay, and then sound options here. AI analysis, game interaction, sign off, start of inning, end inning, each at bat, highlights, substitutes, infield depth, in booth, and well, allows her finish. Dice rolling on felt, sound standings, normal, play great, game intro, and seventh inning stretch. The game intro, they loop between three of them. This week in baseball start, the national anthem, and uh, this week in baseball. Yeah, the first week in baseball starting and ending songs. Of course, I can get in trouble for copyright infringement, so I've cut those off. Play your tabletop sounds, your stop crowd on next to bat, of course. All right, new exhibition, as you said, that's how you do it. New season is you do your season and then your divisions and all that contain no league can contain more than league one, league two, league one must contain one. So we'll set that up one of these days. Postseason, you can do his postseason. You can have all these things, all that. You can have your teams. You can even do seeding and all that, which would be cool. A draft. You also draft from player pool. Single team. Yeah, someone actually asked if you could actually create teams and all that. You can, I guess you could. And a pool, like a player pool creation screen. And then the pool of players and all that. And it will help. But we'll go main screen. The tip. Oh yeah, at the top you got the about is like what this is all about. Kind of should not have done that, but that's okay. Register you when you register, you got to register with a code, and it gives you all that. Convert from version 3. I don't have version 3. Install season, so you select the season to install, and then it will install everything for you, like the players, the stuff, and all that. Restore a park home run, like you can actually all descriptions will have home run added to the beginning. Home team specific. Home team specific. So like for example, 1986 Shea Stadium. You could do like left hand of, you could say it would be, it's out of here, out of here, out of here. What does store mean? I don't know, but anyway, yeah, you could have your home run descriptions. This is when you got to get your graphics download and all that. Ballpark graphics download, because it'll have all your ballpark graphics, not just the specific year, and the slideshow graphics into when you do the slideshow and intro sounds and all that. Uh, this is like famous pictures and all that. Slideshow. This is like
Detroit Tiger Baseball.
Yep, because I don't want to get copyright infringement. All right, so let's do the Tim Harkness exhibition game, and then the option. There are options here to say there all the rules, replay options, and all that. Season options. That's how you do it. Display options, reset season, multi-team players, use place on final team, and all that. Sound options, admin options, and team edit. All right, so this is a one-game play-up. We will play. So how we play? So we play at LA Memorial Coliseum, Philly, and Los Angeles. So we will play. It's gonna make sure it's so you can change your picture if you want. So all you do is, if I want Paul Brown, I will click on him, double click, and there he is. But we're gonna go with Art Mahaffey. The Dodgers, Don Drysdale, not Koufax. Good. All right. So you hit the picture thing, and then you have the Philly lineup. You have AI and AI real lineup. AI just gives a random lineup like this. And you go through and see who you want in and out. So I'm looking at it. Of course, this is me, and I think Lee Walls does not deserve to be a DH. So I'm looking left, and I can see Wes Covington, good player. Now, of course, the one option about using the real stats and all that, if you deselect that, Dodger still, all his stats from the actual 1961 season would be down there. But it's TLTL. So Wes Covington is DHing. I know there was no DH in the 60s, but Wes Covington will DH. Now, here's the question. Is Harkness on the Dodgers? I see him. AI. And Harkness is, oh, wow, they put him at DH. AI put him at DH. I didn't have to worry about it. Okay, well, let me see. Maury Wills, Wally Moon, Tommy Davis, Warren Fairley, Charlie Neal, Norm Larker. I am going to take him out and put Gil Hodges, legendary for Sacker, and Tim Harkness as the DH. Excellent. I know Duke Snyder. I love Duke Snyder, but them's the breaks. So click the baseball and team AI standings. So you'll see the On the left side, you'll see the player's photo, and you'll see stats and all that throughout the season. Of course, this is a one-game exhibition, so you'll see no stats and all that. And it'll even tell you what's if you're a left-handed pitcher or right-handed pitcher, switch hitter, left hitter, and all that. AI standings. I always just say AI in-game decisions, AI at bat, and overwrite infield decisions. Not AI. AI substitutions means that the AI gets to change pitchers and hitters. I do it manually because it makes it more fun. All right, so you click the baseball.
Replay Radio is live from Los Angeles.
Ellen Memorial
Top
Coliseum.
up
You
first.
see that picture, and you see like a ballpark pick. You see on the left side, you see the cards, Drysdale's card and Tony Taylor's card. You also see, yeah. Am I allowed to change the thing? Replace stats on cards. I wonder if I take that out. What does that do? Okay, that's better. I just have to take the one stat out. And then it just shows what their actual stats were for the season and all that. And when I do replay, it's like, well, their actual stats. But this is their stats for the actual 61 season. Drysdale was 13 and 10 with a 3.69 average. Tony Taylor, 106 games, 2 home runs. The worst part about these cards, in my mind, is why are they not showing RBIs? Like, RBIs are just important as stolen bases. Like, frick. So you see Drysdale's card. It says 1961 Dodgers are for right-hander. Defense holds because those the wild pitch because sometimes they'll base action, and you have 6 columns and 6 rows and B. If a pitcher goes to B grades, then that means the numbers add up automatically. I'll tell you your age, 24, few things, and then hit stats at the bottom. Tony Taylor, you see his stuff, and then you see 91 TUB and 33B, meaning that in the 1961 season, he played 91 games at second base, 3 at third base. If you're a pinch runner or a pinch hitter and you don't remain in the game, those numbers don't count because he played 106 games and that's 94. You see the numbers on there. You see the middle. You see the ballpark, well, the diamond, if you will, the left, center, and right. That'd be Fairley, Davis, and Moon. With Gilliam, Wills, Neal, Hodges in the infield. Roseboro back, the catcher. Drysdale, the pitcher. You don't see the DH, which is Harkness. Or in Philly's case, you wouldn't see Covington. The way I see it, you see back, in, corners, first base, third base, in. That's the defense. If you want the defense to play back to like the back of the infield and all that, that's what you play. But I do AI. And IBB means intentional walk somebody. On the right-hand side, you see 1961 Dodgers. You see their record during that year, 89-65, second in the NL. Of course, back in the 60s, before 1969, you were in one league, one division. You had to win to get to the World Series. Simple as that. And the Dodgers took second behind the Cincinnati Reds, who shocked everyone by making it to the World Series, losing to the Yankees in 6. And you see Walter Alston as manager. You see the Dodgers logo. You see the lineup and all that. And for Philly, 47-107, last in the NL, 8 teams. Gene Mock as your manager. Poor guy. And you see the lineup and all that. Like, as the game goes on, you'll see batting averages and RBIs play. All that. Now, you see the ballpark. There's a thing called box score, in which it gives you the box score, like the way the box score is, and gives the information play by play. Like, we'll get to that later. Print HTML text polls. Options, of course, is that options, like I did. Replace stats on cards. Stats on the picture brand new. All right, so here we go. I'm going to try to slow play as much as I can, especially on Taylor. Okay, Tony Taylor comes up, and here's the pitch. It's a 4-6-2. At the first base and out. So, it says result 4 on column 4, and then it says ball hit to first base. Gil Hodges is first base and grounder out at first. Sometimes, and the scoring is ground out first base unassisted. Sometimes when it's out at first, he'll flip it to the pitcher, and that's a first base to pitcher. The worst part about this game, in my mind, is when they do like the scorecard, it doesn't say like 6-3 or like 3-U and all that. Now, I put it in yellow on purpose. So, the 4 on the red die represents the column. So, if the red number is 6, then it's the 6th column you get your results from. The 4 is the 4th one. Now, dry still, and it's 6-2. The hitter is always the white die. The pitcher is always the blue die. So, we go down Taylor's stats 18, 11, 3, 2, 1, 1. There's a 1. And Drysdale is a 2. So column 2 is a 3. And I think it's 3 all the way down. So it's 3 plus 1 is 4. And that's how they get the result.
1 out, base is empty.
All right, here's Johnny Callison. 138 games, 9 home runs. He did much better in 1964. Pitch in the way. 556. So it's a 24. And in column 5, the result is 21 to 27, meaning it is a walk. 20 plus 4. As you see in yellow, Drysdale 556. So column 5. 5 is always the batter, 6 is the pitcher. So that is, like row 5 is a 20 for Callison, Drysdale is a 4. So that's 24.
1 out, man on first.
Here comes Don Demeter. Now at times you'll get what they call a base action chart. So you roll 2 dice and you get these things. Now 2 is a potential pickoff. Double 1, snake eyes. A double 6 also could be a pickoff. As you see, 3 is POE, meaning a pickoff, a potential pickoff error, and you have to roll for error rating. If it's a 2-1. If it's double 2, as this is a double 2 or a double 5, meaning it's a pass ball rating, and they'll test against Roseboro's pass ball rating. If it's a 5, 7, 8, or 9, the die roll 5, 7, 8, 9, that's a wild pitch check on Drysdale. If it's a 6, nothing happens. So let's roll. It is a 5, 6, a possible ball. Oh, 11 is a ball. Okay, if it's higher than a 4, it's called a balk, and Carlson moves to second base. It is a 4, and the rules are, it has to be higher. Tie goes to the runner.
1 out, man on first.
So no action. Here's Demeter. Result 3, Session, straight 3. 2-6 is a strikeout, 7, 11 is a foul out. Sometimes I'll tell you 2 different things. So it's a 1 for Demeter and a 2 for Drysdale. Column 2, the 3 is the hitter card. So Demeter, that's a 1. Drysdale, it's a 5, so that's a 2. It could have been a 36 for Demeter, plus 2 is 38. Different.
2 outs, man on first.
And now Wes Covington, who I made to BPH. 12 RBI, 12 home runs. Pitch in the way. 4-1-6. Hit to Gilliam, and he's gone. Sayonara. So the Phillies can't do anything.
No runs, no hits, and 1 left on.
Okay, you gotta love this.
Bottom of the first.
End play. So now we go to bottom of the first. Things change, and Art Mahaffey, 11 and 19 in real life. In the 1961 season, his stats. And Maury Choo-Choo Wills starts off at shortstop, 148 games, 35 stolen bases. The 62 season is when he rose above everything else with his stolen bases and whatnot. Pitch. 3-1-2. Ballpark. And sometimes it'll land on a 3 for ballpark effect. So that means that in this case, you roll 1 die and find the new value. So if it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4, because it's red, he's out. If it's a 5 or 6, that's a single. It's a 2, so he flies out to right field Gonzalez. if you're looking at a scorecard, 1's the pitcher, 2's the catcher, 3's the first baseman, 4 for second base, 5 for third base, shortstop 6, left field 7, center field 8, right field 9. I always got 8 and 9 mixed up, thinking that 8 is right field, 9 center field. But it's no, 7, 8, 9, and DH is just DH.
1 out, bases empty.
Yeah, it landed on 3-1-2. Here's Gilliam, the third baseman, 144 games, 4 home runs, pitch in the lane. 5-3-4. So yeah. So that lands an 8, so that's a walk. So column 5, 3 is for Gilliam, and it's 5E, and 4 for Mahaffey. That's a 3, so that's 8. So that's what you get. But sometimes there will be cards for a hitter, and they'll land on letters, and that corresponds to something else.
1 out,
on the
man
action
on
chart.
first.
So yeah, the E is for the action chart, and you have to steal. So the action chart is this way. So you'll roll 2 dice. If he lands on a 2, 4, or 7, it's a stolen base. Although a 4 and a 7, he steals, and there's an error check. If it's a 3 or 8, it's a pickoff attempt, and they'll have to look at the error rating of Mahaffey. If it's a 5, 6, 10, or 11, that's a plus, meaning that he will try to steal a base. If it is a 9 combined, it is a caught stealing. He is caught, and if it's a 12, it's a pass ball. So let's see what the rolls are. It is a 5-2, a stolen base plus a possible failure. So he's on second automatically. Now we look at the error rating. Plays error rating to 15. If the red die, the white die combined for more than 15, then that means that's an error. So for Deperel, in this error check, if the red die is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no matter what the white die is, that's an error. If it's a 1, then it goes to the next number. And it lands on 14, which means no error. So a 1 and a 4. If it's a 15, tie goes to the runner, meaning that no problem.
1 out, man on second.
Gilliam just steals second base. Yep, and you see the error rating actually with the 2-digit numbers. Townsend's a 22, Demender's a 53, Gonzalez is a 45, Smith's an 11, Amaro 44, Taylor 52, Herrera 45, and Deperel 15. Here's Wally Moon, 17 home runs. He's hit up the gut. And Gilliam will score because of his speed. Just 1 second, speed above 3 will always score. And his speed is a 5. Yeah, so you'll see the blue squares on players on the base paths. That's your speed number, because a 5's the highest, the 1's the lowest you can get. And that could also determine if the runner will move and all that. And Moon gets an RBI single.
1 out, man on first.
So as you see on the right side, Moon has a 1-0-0. That means that's his batting average, and 1 RBI. Here's Tommy Davis, 15 home runs, 133 games. 1965 was when he famously got a massive injury that ruined his career. Pitch on the way. It's a 47. Come back into the pitcher, so he's going to throw to second from 1. Throw the first for 2. If it's higher than a 3, then it's a 1-6-3 play. If it's 1, 2, or 3, it's a 1-6, meaning they'll get the leader runner, but not the second runner. It is a 2, so the batter beats the relay to first. They'll get the out at second, but not at first.
2 outs, man on first.
And you see the scoring play. And now here's Ron Fairley, 1961, 10 home runs, part of the 1978 Toronto Blue Jays. And he strikes out. That ends the inning, but the Dodgers score a run.
1 run, 1 hit, and 1 left on.
All right.
Top of the second.
Top of the second, so the batting order is 6, 7, 8 for the Dodgers. So Charlie Neal, the second base. Sorry, for the Dodgers, that's 6, 7, 8. But for the Phillies, it's 5, 6, 7. So Charlie Smith will lead off. 21 games, 11 home runs. And Drysdale flips it to Hodges. That's a ground out.
1 out, base is empty.
Right at the pitcher. There's Pancho Herrera, first baseman, 13 home runs. And he will take a seat on the bench.
2 outs, bases empty.
There's Ruben Amaro Sr. I know his son Ruben Amaro Jr. was an MLBer. He played for the Blue Jays. It's 15. It's a line out. Anything higher?
They go down quietly, nothing doing this half inning.
Yep, so they go down quietly. If you watch my stuff, you know, when the team goes down 1-2-3, it's either easy, that's an easy inning to score. I just say easy peasy lemon squeezy. The AI will sometimes say, and just like that, the inning's over. I just say, just like that, where's my cat? Or, as it goes, it's a 1-2-3 inning, and I go, dun 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 dun, dun I'm gonna make you mine. Kind of like, are you gonna go my way, Red Jack? Or, like he says, they go down quietly because I'm a wrestling fan and love Alpha Academy. I do the Chad Gable shoosh because they go down quietly.
Bottom of the second.
Bottom of the second, 6, 7, 8. Coming up, Charlie Neal will be our first batter. He will fly to center. Demeter makes the catch. 1 away.
1 out, bases empty.
Johnny Rosbro. 4-6-4. Hit to Taylor and grounder at first, 2 down.
2 outs, bases empty.
And here comes the legendary Gil Hodges, 109 games for this team. And he grounds it to second, and he's out.
An easy inning to score, 1-2-3.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Top of the third.
Alright, so you got, and then you got what defensive numbers and all that. That sometimes is critical for, like if Clay Dipperell, if it lands on column 2 and it's a 6, the race number actually does mean much for the defense. And of course at the bottom you see, like it says, top of the third, nobody out, bases empty. That's just we're playing, and then you see the pictures of the hitter and the pitcher. You see the pitcher stuff, like how many innings they pitched, hits, home runs, walks, strikeouts, ERA, and WHIP, aka WHIP. How many walks per plus hits per inning pitch he does. And of course at the bottom you'll see the hitter's stats: at bat, hit, home run, RBI, walk, strikeout, average, and OBP, on base percentage. Dipperell. Ballpark effect. It's column 6. It's a single home run. So if it lands, if the die is 3, 4, 5, 6, it's a home run. If it's a 2, it's home run question mark, meaning there could be a home run. If it's a 1, it's a single question mark. It lands on a 5, and that's gone. Home run off the and that's a home run by Dipperell.
No outs, bases empty.
And now Tony Gonzalez, not the Kansas City Chiefs player, the right fielder. Right, and he strikes out.
1 out, bases empty.
Okay, here's Taylor. Strike 3.
2 outs, bases empty.
Now Johnny Callison. And as you see, if you're first at bat, all your bat stuff is at the bottom, and BB means he's walked and less at bat.
1 run, 1 hit, and none left on. Bottom of the third.
Alright, so I've slow played you long enough. So we're going to go quickly. Now, when I do an exhibition game, I focus on the person who's dead. And this time it's Tim Harkness. So he played 5 games. Yeah, he had 8 at-bats and all that. 2 games at first base. But here's the thing. Now, suppose you want to know more about Harkness. So you click on Harkness's name in the batter card, and this is what he's got. Height 6'2", weight, bats. He throws, born, like his birth date, Lichin, Quebec. It doesn't tell you his death because, like, I know people like Maury Will. Is Maury Will's dead, I think? But yeah, debut and position and key batting stats. The stats for it, and then in real life it'll give you all the stats. But subsequently, you could also bat the batter card. If you hit the pitcher's card, that's part of my half. This is his Vital, 6'1", 185, born 1938, and debuted 1960. And then it'll just give you the real stats and all that. That's kind of cool. You can do it for anybody, right? Yeah, you can do it for anybody. On the right-hand side, you can click on anybody and look at the stats, like Pancho Herrera stuff, Charlie Smith, Ruben Amaro. You always have to left click. You can't right click and get anything. So you get all these guys. Man, they had a lot of Cubans on that team. And then Maury Wills, and it shows the batter card too. So we're focusing on Tim Harkness. So every at bat with Harkness in it. And he walks.
No outs, men on first.
Out, then we will.
The defense is playing in at the corners.
Of course, see these green arrows means bench fielding. So like that's just what you do. Bullpen. That's who's in your bullpen. And it shows the card bullpen usage, bench hitting. That's just all they're hitting and do. And bench fielding. Yeah, it just gives you the information for the team on the field. See right here, you can say your team AI standings and the computer. We'll get to that later. So here's Maury Wills.
He's going to lay down a bunt.
He's going to lay down a bunt. That's what the computer wants. Mahaffey's going to take the ball. There's a sacrifice bunt. It's a double one, so that's a sack, meaning that you sacrificed the runner to second base.
One out, men on second.
Okay. Here's Gilliam. Hits it to Amaro, and he's out at first. And because the ball's on the left side,
2 outs, men on second.
Here's Wally Moon. Single, and then the one in brackets is the RBI. And it'll take a while.
2 outs, men on first and second.
For Tommy Davis, there's a base action. So what base action lands on a 3-3. So no
2
play.
outs, men on first and second.
So it's first and second with 2 outs, and Tommy will hit and then do a single.
2 outs, bases loaded.
Pass. Station to station. Here's Ron Fairley. A 6-6, a possible pickoff. Roll 1 die against the pitcher's full rating. If it's higher than a 4, I think he's out, right? No, the die is higher, that means he's safe. If it's lower, he's picked off.
2 outs, bases loaded.
Come on. Unfairly, it's a short, and close by a first. You'll see close by a first, and then they'll give like some umpire thing, die number. So, if the die lands on a 1 or a 6, the runner is safe and the run will score. If it lands on 2, 3, 4, or 5, he's out. So there's a small chance he's safe. But it's a 4, he's out.
No runs, 1 hit, and 3 left on.
So anyway.
Top of the 4th.
So, after 3 innings, the slideshow will change the ballpark backgrounds. You see this? If you go +1 half inning, that means that the Dodgers, that means you skip Phillies half inning and you go to the bottom of the inning. Or subsequently, if you're moving the Dodgers to the bottom of the 4th and you want to skip their half inning, and then it goes up to Phillies to the 5th. 1 inning is like 1 inning of offensive defense. Junior. Top of the 7th is you zoom right to the 7th inning. End of the 9th or end of the game. I've had troubles closing games with that, so that's not a good idea. So because we're doing this, we're gonna skip an inning, and he's due up first. So we will skip half inning and go to Harkness. It is 2-1 Phillies, and now here's Harkness. And he will walk again.
No outs, men on first.
Now when you sim,
the defense is playing in at the corners.
Do hitters or pitcher things. Here's Maury Wills.
It's a hit and run.
Hit and run. A 6, runner into the hole at shortstop. Withers defense has behind the 2 for now. It's not. They take two and Harkness gets the base.
No outs, men on first
As
and
it goes
third.
at 1.
The first baseman is playing in.
Now, if it was a 3, he's out. So it's first and third. Jim Gilliam's going to come up to the plate to try to score a run. And he walks. And Happy walks him.
No outs,
The
bases loaded.
For
The first
Wally
baseman
Moon.
is playing
Let's see
in.
what he can do.
He now has 5 RBIs today.
Yeah, the result is 14 in column 6. So, yeah, like, I know it says 16, but I think the 9 is some kind of power hit or something. Because Mahaffey's thing was a 5, so 9 plus 5. Sometimes they'll have 2 numbers and it's the red number usually, not the black number. So, yeah, he hits a home run.
No outs,
A
bases
grand
empty.
slam to score Harkness and himself 5-2. Now, let's simulate. Top of the 6. Harkness will be back up. Half inning. So it's 5-2. So Dallas Screen computer said we'll pitch to Harkness. He's walked twice. Hit to Charlie Smith, and he's out. So we're just going to simulate.
1 out, bases empty.
And 1 inning is like to go to. It's like half an inning. Alright. So. Oh, they scored 2 in the 7th, but Harkness didn't get in the bat. Alright. So it's 8-2. Drysdale's going to finish it off. The Mentor goes first. Yeah, usually if you have a result in column 6, you're due to see a home run or something big. And the Mariner went deep.
No outs, bases empty.
8-3. Oh, I forgot to mention those green circles on the cards is your pitcher's rating roll that specifically says, well, the 2 on Drysdale means he can throw the 2 batters before they'll check on him. And sometimes they'll give a yellow circle meaning that he's tired but not too tired. But sometimes you'll see a red circle with a B on it. And then that's where the B grades at the bottom of the Drysdale card is. It'll give automatic numbers and all that. Mostly you want to everyone's an A grades. Mostly if you're a B grades, you want to release your pitcher. That. Who's coming 10?
He now has 11 strikeouts.
And if your pitcher gets to 10 strikeouts,
1 out, bases empty.
By himself, then the announcer will announce it. Here's Charlie Smith. Hit to Hodges, and he's out. 2 down.
2 outs, bases empty.
Nowhere to go. Pancho Herrera. Hit to Wills, and he's gone. That's over. Harkness and Turner win 8-4.
Los Angeles wins the game easily.
Wally moves.
Until next time, this is Replay Radio signing off.
Key play. 8-3. Drysdale beats Mahaffey. Wally Moon is named MVP. And why not? He had 6 RBIs. Whew. Guy had 6 RBIs by himself. It should be called the Wally Moon game. Now, this is just like a normal box score. You see the team and, the at-bats, runs, hits, RBIs, walks, strikeouts, average putouts, and assists by a player. Batting, they'll show details like doubles and triples and home runs, sacrifice hits, total bases, RBIs, that kind of stuff. And it tells you how many people were left on base and runners in scoring position with their batting averages. And it tells you what pitcher. So Derbro went deep off Drysdale and so did Demeter. The fielding base running and then the pitcher stats. Innings, hits, runs, earned runs, walks, strikeouts, home runs, batters faced, and ERA. So Drysdale's box score is 9 innings. He gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them were earned, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts, 2 home runs, and 33 batters. Mahaffey pitched 4 innings, Green 3, and Lehman 1. And it just shows all the stats at the bottom, time of the game, and MVP. For Harkness, it says he had 2 at-bats. He scored 1 run, so he crossed the plate once, he walked twice, and after nothing, he was the DH. Play-by-play is that on the left side, O/R is it was either out or a run. Or nothing, if nothing happened. ROB is runners on base. So when Demeter was batting, there was a runner on first base, and that was Callison. A batter, play detail, and I don't know what CB means. But yeah, so when Wally Moon got the RBI single, it says single and then Gilliam scores, meaning that Gilliam crossed the plate. Oh, that's an RBI. When an RBI happens, that's when the play detail is black. And that was when Wally Moon hit the grand slam, scored Harkness, Wills, Gilliam, and of course himself. They'll also say series stats, as in like they'll give the stats and all that, all the pictures and all that. So that's just something to look forward to. So yeah, the Tim Harkness exhibition game X. You can even trade players. All right, so new season. But what we'll do is we'll go to 1981. So we click on 1981. Actually, no. Yeah, we'll click on 1981. This is just this is just an example and all that. So you click the season and then it'll load, of course. You know, it's got to go through my cloud and all that. Okay, boomer. As the kids say, I don't know why I'm saying it myself, frig. I'm 40 years old. So, yeah, depending on how much is in your cloud, how depends on how fast your PC or laptop, of course, laptop in my case, is it'll take a while to load and all that. It'll just load everything, and I'll just give you the skinny and all that. So, so I did the first month. Why did I do the first month? I should reset the season or something like that. Yeah, I did the first half of the season. So yeah, so it gives like this newspaper thing. It gives the standings, what the scores were, the batting leaders, as in who's leading in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. It's there. Earned run average, strikeouts, wins, hot in April, meaning hot, the best of the month. And it gives even roster movements too, which is kind of cool. Batting leaders, pitching leaders, hot in April, all that. You can see the standings like this way. It even gives you like stats and all that. And on the right side is their actual numbers and all that. They even have first, second half, but that's because the 81 season had a split half. Wild card standings, like the top teams that have not won, that are not winning their divisions and all that. Head to head, read across the line and down. So for Baltimore, they haven't beaten the Blue Jays, and down Baltimore's line is Toronto is one. So they've played one game against the Blue Jays. First and second half, I guess they just give you the first half and all that. On a normal season, you can even look at stats, as in team stats, player stats, team versus real, player versus real, like your real life standings and all that stuff. Leaders, like this is just a playthrough. So this is like it gives like plate appearances and all that, like stats, pitching, AL pitching, like normal batting is just like combined. You could do AL batting, AL pitching, NL pitching, NL pitching, and top 10. When it's top 10, then it just gives you the top 10 without the photos. You click on one of these guys, George Hendrick. It gives you his player card. It gives you like his real stuff. It gives like his normals, even gives splits and game log and all that stuff. And when you click on result, it just gives you the box score and all that. Kind of cool, huh? Okay, and then highlights. Okay, 1981 season highlights. So it says like batting, 5 hit games, and all that. So you click on something like that, and it shows like the guys who got 5 or more hits in one game, the player, the team, and who they faced, and all that. And yes, you can click on the middle like Easler, and that gives you the stats and all that. Yeah, so anything that's been done, like if the 15 plus innings rule didn't happen, then we would see that. So yeah, so it just gives you that, and you click on the thing, and it'll give you the box score and all that. Fernando beat Gary Lavelle. He pitched 2 innings after Sutcliffe started the game. Gives you your stats, teams. So let's highlight the teams, and then you just go down the drop down and see what your team. My team, of course, is the Toronto Blue Jays. And that just is Toronto stats and all that. It gives you the standings. It gives you the splits, home, road, last 10 streak, and then the last game and all that. It gives you like their stats, every team stats, because it says 24th, and that the batting leaders, the pitching leaders, and the next opponents and all that. Players. It gives you a thing. Toronto. There's Danny Ainge. And Danny Ainge would go on to be a Boston Celtic. Options, like for the 1981 options and all of that. Season options. Yeah, season options. Play in strict order. If you look at like the stuff, I'll show you. If you say play in strict order, you have to go the first game onwards. Otherwise, you can play actual stuff. So yeah. All right. So you see there. Confirm AI season refresh. You refresh the season and all that. And you can even add unscheduled games. On a season reset, this game will be removed. So yeah, you can, like at the end of the game, reports. Reports to print. Select printer. Oh, you can print it off. Weekly roundups. And you can even make trades. To add attached. So to the Mets. Like it just is a trade. I'm not trading the actual player. All that. So yeah. So that's just what you want. Okay, schedule, and you go to schedule. Of course, the autoplay. You see team summary, like the team autoplay day, week, month, game simulcast. But you see this, like for example, click on May 1st. If we play in strict order, then Minnesota, Boston, you would have to make a decision: play quick start or autoplay and all that. if you if it like the way I do it is that you can play any game you want. You can play Houston Pittsburgh without having to go through Minnesota Boston at first. That's the way I do it. All right, so that's just how we do it. That's just how we slow play, and hopefully you enjoy it. Anyway, I'm Drift Diamond. Adieu.